Hey there, business owners, freelancers, and entrepreneurs. Nishi here with another fast and exciting social media marketing tip for you this week. Today, I want to talk about writer's block. All right, writer's block is, well, it's pure awful, to be honest with you. And those of you who have been blogging on a regular basis or trying to blog on a regular basis know what this is all about. Sooner or later, you're just going to tap out. You'll run out of ideas. You just don't feel inspired anymore. So what to do about it? So today, I want to bounce three practices or techniques on you so that you can overcome or at least avoid writer's block as much as possible. The first technique that I want to talk about is called the Disney technique. And what this involves is approaching any piece of writing, including blogging, with four different mindsets. So the first mindset is the outsider mindset. So you look at your problem, your subject matter from an outsider's point of view, and you just sort of approach everything very generally. Then the next phase is the dreamer phase. This is where you just like shoot all your ideas out. You don't really think too hard about anything. You just come very creatively and bounce ideas off the page, and not criticize anything or anything like that. You just want to be creative at this phase. The third phase of the Disney technique is the realizer technique. This is where you start to realize what the important themes are, the important bullet points are, what is the actual idea of your blog post, your article. And then finally comes the critic phase. This is where you proofread and you make sure everything makes sense and you get your links. You get your grammar down perfectly, your phrasing, and you choose the right words to express yourself. This is where you start to get really specific about your writing. So what happens most of all when you have writer's block is you enter the critic phase too soon. So, let yourself go a little bit and go into the dreamer phase or go into the outsider phase a little bit first. Give yourself that freedom and then come down hard on yourself and try to get everything fine-tuned in the realizer phase and then finally the critic phase. So that's the Disney technique. Number two is a practice that is called morning pages, and this was made famous by an author called Julia Cameron in her book, The Artist's Way. So I know you're thinking, I'm a business owner, I'm not an artist. Actually, you are an artist, okay, because business is art. And creating content, there is an artfulness to it, so don't sell yourself short. Morning pages is basically waking up a little bit early every day, maybe half an hour early, and writing 3 pages of nonsense. Just like getting all your thoughts and anxieties and whatever you dreamt about last night and whatever's been harassing you or whatever comes to mind, just dumping it on the page without any thought whatsoever. Nobody ever looks at the morning pages. The morning pages are just for you. You might not even look at them again. The idea is that you just kind of purge what's in your mind. You get all the junk out so that the good stuff can come in. And I know it feels kind of silly and ridiculous, but take it from me. This is a very good practice. You should think of it not necessarily as a way to come up with great writing, but as a way to prepare your mind so that you can produce great writing. It's sort of like wanting to run the marathon, right? You don't like say one day, I'm going to run a marathon, so I'm going to run 10 miles today to get in shape for the marathon. That's silly. You're going to do like warm-up exercises and like you're going to build up and build your muscles and do like these precursory sort of workouts that lead up to you running the marathon. So the marathon is you writing blog articles, but the exercises and the discipline and the work that you do is the morning pages. So think of morning pages as preparing the landscape so that you are able to produce good writing when the time comes. But it's important to be diligent and disciplined with the morning pages for them to actually take an effect. You're going to have to be perfectly ready to write complete nonsense. And what will happen eventually is, you'll write 90% garbage, and then there'll be like 10% of brilliance. And that brilliance is going to launch you into like this whole other area of your blogging. So that's morning pages. And then number 3, it's more of a specific technique when you've kind of mastered morning pages and you've sort of mastered dreamer technique and the Disney technique. This is getting a little bit more practical with your blog writing, and it's basically creating blogs based on lists. So right now, and this is very practical, right? Right now, Google likes blog articles that are about 1,000 to 1,200 words long. So starting with that, you might want to think of your articles in terms of 3 bullet lists or 5 bullet lists. So take 5 bullets, for instance. If you're shooting for 1,000 to 1,200 words, 5 bullets means you get to expend about 200 words per bullet, right? 200 words is a lot easier to write than 1,000 words, right? So just think, I just got to write 200 words 5 times. And then you write your introduction, and you write your conclusion paragraph, and boom, you've got 1,200 words that easily. So if you combine these techniques, I mean, some of them are going to work for some of you better than other techniques. You know, you got to find something that's a good fit for you. But generally speaking, I use all 3 of these, and I kind of combine them together. And together, it helps me overcome writer's block on a regular basis and come up with new ideas for blog articles, not just for myself, but for my clients as well. So I hope you found that interesting. 3 techniques or practices to get over writer's block. Number 1, the Disney technique. Number 2, morning pages from the artist's way. And number 3, building on lists based on your overall blog article length that you want to achieve. So that's it for today. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please subscribe. I put out a couple of videos and blog articles a month. Until next time, take care.